Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week because we still couldn't figure out the right nomenclature of bi-weekly.
I say twice weekly. I think, right? I think that's what our Twitter account says. Twice weekly.
Apparently we were right both ways, but it just sounds confusing.
It's one of those things, where it's like, I don't know. Some dictionaries say it's one way, some say the other. Who knows? It's a British-American thing. I don't know. It's split. Josh Edwards. Time Lord Josh Edwards. You're an English guy. What is it? Is it we should just say twice weekly.
Yeah. We'll keep it more precise.
Yeah, I think that's probably best. No, let's just scrap it all. What are we gonna call it? Bi-weekly?
We're two bi guys weekly. Play old games. This week, somebody commented on Facebook like, I missed the golden days of Super Nintendo.
Yep.
And I was like, no, we'll get back to that. So we're making a triumphant re-return again to Super Nintendo.
Yeah, a triumphant return. You're right.
Sort of.
Well, here's the problem. We did all 100 of the best.
We've done all the good. Yeah, we've done all the good ones, or
Yeah.
like ones that are just strangely unsung. I'm sure there are some gems still out there. Terranigma, I know, is one of them.
Yeah.
But that didn't come to America.
Still have another Chester Cheetah game to do. So there's that.
that could be great.
Could be.
I hear good things about Hagane.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's still up there.
I don't know what that is.
It was a blockbuster, exclusive. It's a lackluster blockbuster, Buster Buddy exclusive.
Buster Bunny.
It was. You could only rent it from Blockbuster. So the only copies out there are that people bought whenever it went under. So
Interesting.
it's a very expensive. It's
RPG or
it's a side-scrolling. I don't want to say beat 'em up, but like a side-scrolling fighter game.
okay.
Where you are a robot ninja in like some kind of
Okay.
future. Supposedly
That sounds good.
Incredibly difficult, but
Oh, really?
it's supposed to be a good
Who
game.
developed it? Do you know?
I don't remember.
I'm totally not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just legitimately curious.
I don't remember. I just watched a YouTube video about like hidden SNES gems. And
Yeah?
that was one of them.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm happy to emulate that.
Or yeah, exactly. Or Clay Fighters.
Yeah.
I know Josh Nance would love to get on some Clay Fighters.
Man, I would get on some Clay Fighters too.
Do Clay Fighters for SNES and like Clay Fighters
63 and a third. Did 64.
That was my first exposure to that series at Josh's house.
I've never played that one. I bet it, honestly, like as much as
I'm gonna beat your ass with Taffy. Man, I'm really good with Taffy.
as much as I've shit on the N64, that is one of the that game I feel like would be the best on the N64.
Yeah.
That and Primal Rage. If there were a Primal Rage 64, I feel like that would be good.
I'm with you.
I mean, let me rephrase that. Not good, but better than the SNES
Most suitable.
incarnation. Yeah, most suitable.
No, I really do. Like, God, by the time that we are done with this, I really want to have done every single Super Nintendo
I know
game.
you say that
So badly.
Oh
so
boy.
badly.
Oh boy.
I know that. I mean, there's
a lot of them.
Yeah, man. There's some shit on there too. We're playing like 6 Wayne Gretzky games, but
Well, here's
a lot of fishing games. But there's
Yeah.
some other stuff I'm really interested in, like
Wayne Gretzky
delving
fishing
into.
games.
Yeah. It's like they're at halftime. He takes his skate and he carves a hole in the ice and he goes ice fishing.
Tyler, don't cast where the fish is. Cast where the fish is going.
Is that how you fish?
That's how Gretzky fishes.
God,
You miss 100% of the fish you don't catch.
Because my fishing always related to just like stepping in cow shit on the way to a pond and complaining to my dad about fishing until we went home. But this week, we are going to be talking about. We talked about it a long time ago about doing it. Back in the day when we started talking about doing every set of 10s on IGN's list, we would do a bet.
And we started that. We did Shaq Fu, and then I guess we stopped.
Noah's Ark. We did
Noah's Ark 3D, yeah.
And then it's just like the play the games in the 10s are bad enough that we punish ourselves further. Because when we posted a survey on our SNES for the worst games, like Bill Lambier's combat basketball probably came first. And then right after it was Bebe's Kids.
Yeah, I think it was tied. I feel like Bebe's Kids and Bill Lambier were up there around the same area.
They were both mentioned on just about every comment in that thread.
Yeah, loudly. Yeah, people wanted us to know that those were the worst.
So the worst. Today, since we've done combat basketball, now we're going to do Bebe's Kids.
Bebe's Kids. All right.
Read it not wrong.
Do you hear that, Tyler?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's Bebe's Kids.
That's I don't know, man. It's just Bebe's Kids.
It's me making racket. I'm just making racket like Bebe's Kids. That's a very Ashley Shake moment. Just making that racket like those kids, those damn kids running around.
Yeah, well, of course, whenever Bebe's Kids start making a racket, that ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. Tyler, Bebe's Kids is an action-oriented video game for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System that is loosely based on the movie of the same name. All right. That's what Wikipedia has to say.
It had more tie-ins to the movie than I've seen other SNES games based on a movie.
I think that it is really funny that you watched Bebe's Kids, the movie.
I watched 3/4 of Bebe's Kids today.
I wanted to. And I went to YouTube and I was like, all right, surely someone has put Bebe's Kids on YouTube. And someone had, but what they did is the classic, like, I don't know if this is some kind of like copyright loophole or something where they're like, I'm going to play it on the television and I'm going to take out my phone and just record it.
Yeah.
Like, is that like a thing where like Warner Brothers, whoever the fuck they got us. They figured it out.
It's not illegal to show your TV. So.
Well, fuck. I don't know what we're going to do. So I started watching it and I was like, this is awful. Like this, I can't stand this. I can't take it. Like it's not only do I have to watch Bebe's Kids, I have to watch it in 320p. Like this is fucking ridiculous. No wonder the studio was like, it's fine. Just let them
No one's going to watch. Yeah. No, if they're showing a video on their TV, just let them. It's fine. Right. If you want it that bad, I guess it's better than torrenting it. So just let them do it.
So I watched like the first 5 seconds. Like I didn't get past the credits. And like I'm watching it and of course the little suggestion comes up where it's like, rent this on YouTube. Like, all right. And I click it and I was like, $2.99? I'm not going to pay $2.99 to watch Bebe's Kids. A movie that when it came out, like I could watch at any given moment on HBO.
Oh, God. Oh, God, yes.
This is like a Saturday, 1 o'clock on a Saturday kind of movie.
Because I've seen Bebe's Kids before, like way back in the day.
Really?
Like 1995 or 1996. Yeah, I saw it. I didn't remember that much of it, so I just I wanted to refresh myself on this classic.
I did too. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, man. Man, that movie is such a product of its time. Holy fuck.
I wanted to see it. I did. I wanted to see it when it came out because I thought that the animation style looked pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, look, I was a kid. I don't know. You just watched it. How's the animation, Tyler? Is it up there like Death Note?
Yeah. It's pretty, but a lot of times I get confused. Be like, wait a minute, why does the guy just use the Death Note on these kids? He knows their names. Oh, wait, it's not Death Note. Never mind.
Shit. Do you watch
Bebe's kids. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these fucking Bebe's kids. The guy pulls out his death note.
Did you watch it with subtitles on?
Should have. Oh man. Okay, because this.
I just realized something. I was so excited to talk about Baby's Kids. We skipped intros. Do you want to do those things that we do at the beginning?
Okay.
We don't have to. Man, we were just both just like, Baby's Kids. It's the worst.
I'm your beard host, Tyler, and since Bebe's Kids is about a bunch of very rambunctious, rule-breaking kids.
They do that.
You heard it.
Yeah.
I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know about Bebe's Kids. So I have a tale about being young and fucking shit up.
God, I'm so glad. That's mine as well.
It's not about me, though. It is a story
It's about me.
It's about you,
and
Dave.
mine is about you.
It's actually, my dad told me this story after we ate Thanksgiving dinner just the other day.
After watching Bebe's Kids.
I was like, Dad, you have to watch this.
Why didn't we do that? That would have been great. Instead of like, okay,
we get both our dads on and make them watch
next bonus episode, you, me, my dad, and your dad sit down and we all watch Bebe's Kids. And then we have to edit out half of the show.
Yeah, probably more than that. Oh, because he was telling me when he was, I guess this is sort of a thing that was more popular back in the day. I don't think now it's really a thing people do as much anymore, but joyriding. So my dad was like 13, 14 years old, a group of him and his friends. They would walk around neighborhoods late in the night when everyone's gone to bed and just go up and check cars.
Are you shitting me?
Until they found one that was unlocked with the keys in it.
People actually did that? Like, that's a thing that people... Because, like,
Yep.
I always see that in, like, the movies where something's happening in the 50s or something like that.
Yeah, and he said, like, generally every time they go out, they walk around and just eventually find one. So, like, Dad said he would never put it in neutral or whatever. He would always sit back in the ditch or whatever, and somebody would come up, open the car door quietly, get in, shift it in neutral, and back it up out of the car. Then once they got it into the road and would push it, far enough to where they could then turn it on, turn the lights on without alerting the people.
So the owner wouldn't hear it?
Right,
Yeah.
and then they would just go to whatever the fuck they wanted to do. He said at first it was just like driving it around a little bit and then turning everything off and coasting it back up. And
Right, it's kind of like jerking it, right? The first times you're like,
no, okay, it's done.
Right.
So but eventually it's like we just started getting more and more bold and doing more and more stuff with it.
Getting closer to climax.
Yeah.
Each time.
So he said like, it was like one time we did it and it's still, the road they were on is pretty close to where I live now.
Oh, yeah?
There's this...
So it's on the TADPOG tour.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's the church that I got pretend baptized at back in the day. So there is a road in front of it that's like, it has all these several hills.
Yeah.
I remember when he was telling me about it, I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about, because I remember when I was little, we'd go down that road and make my stomach go up and down when we would go on it. So I knew exactly what he meant.
Yeah.
So he said they would go really fast on that road. And he said once they were doing it and just kept doing it over faster and faster and faster until once they came up and they were in like a little car. So when they bottomed out, they lost control of it. And he said it was like late fall and it just rained. And there was a bunch of like leaves and everything everywhere. They had their windows down. So he said whenever they hit, they bounced up and turned on the side and then just slid into a ditch. So the window was open, so when they hit, just all the leaves and dirt and just shit filled the car.
Yeah.
And like, none of them were hurt, but the car was fucked.
Yeah, the fall was cushioned by all those leaves. It's the equivalent of driving a car to a giant pile of leaves.
Yeah. And just mud and like,
Yeah.
because they had completely they had totaled it, busted it, busted the transmission, wrecked it, flipped it, filled it with dirt, leaves, and mud, and
Man, it sounded like you were rapping or something.
filled it with dirt, leaves, and mud. And they all just climbed out of the car and just ran.
Yeah.
And they said like the next day they went back to check and there was like a wrecker pulling it out. Nothing, they got away with it. They just took this guy's car, wrecked it. That was it.
How did you ever get in trouble as a child?
I don't know.
Seriously. Like when you were you told the story on the show a very long time ago of flipping your rodeo and you blamed it on deer.
Yep.
Like, come on. Like, I feel like you could have been straight up honest. And if anything had happened to you, you could have been like, well, remember the time you drove that car into the fucking leaves?
That's why he didn't tell me till I was an adult.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So, yeah, he told me that, and what else? Because he started telling me about when he was young and whatever his older friend would, because they would go, because I mentioned this before, basically, to make the long story short, like, they would wait for their older friend to give them a ride. His older friend would go on a date with his girlfriend, come and pick them up, and then, like, put their fingers in their faces.
Right.
So then I told my dad, I was like, yeah, that happened to me once, too. It was like, a friend, I guess I'm not going to say his name, we went to go pick him after he had got done fingering his girlfriend, and whenever he got in the seat, he reached back in the back seat and wiped his still moist fingers across my upper lip. Ugh. And I reached out to my dad and just wiped my fingers across his thick Sam Elliott mustache. He laughed pretty hard. But he had to make sure my mom wasn't around before he told any of these stories, though.
Every time you tell that story, this is so bizarre. Maybe it's because Thanksgiving just happened. But every time you tell that story, I am reminded of after the Thanksgiving meal, my grandfather would give me all the scraps and be like, go feed the dogs. And he had like 4 dogs out in this fenced-in area. They lived on a farm. So every time you tell that story, I just think about like throwing little bits like turkey that nobody wants to eat. Like the dogs are just like slavering on the other side, just like licking it up.
Vagina.
What's up, Internet? I am Dave. I am your bespectacled host, and I am going to tell you a story that I cringe about. This is a cringe-worthy story. This is not a story that I am proud of whatsoever. This is a story about how I made my dad so mad that he reminded me of in Final Fantasy VI. Are you familiar with the berserk status ailment? Whoa, man. Holy shit, this happened.
That thing I only think I used once in Final Fantasy VI, period.
Yeah, well, I did the Yumaro thing for a bit with his whole, what's the berserk belt or whatever like that.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, my dad doesn't have a berserk belt or whatever it's called. I can't remember.
Nor is he sitting on top of that one tower that you can only use magic in.
Right? He is a Yeti, however. Little known fact.
And your mom is the Moogle that has the magic set that controls him.
Absolutely. So that's my family history in a nutshell. I remember clearly, I will never forget this until the day I die. I will not forget this day. I was probably 11 years old. We were living in Pennsylvania at the time, and that's when I was really into skateboarding. Tyler was into 2 things. I was into 2 things. I was into skateboarding and I was into The Simpsons. So probably not in that order. I was probably into The Simpsons, and then I was like, hey, that cool guy.
That was cool.
He is pretty cool.
I want all the Simpsons merchandise.
I would like to be cool too. It was not a Simpsons skateboard. I wish I could remember what was on the skateboard. It was probably like very genero. Like it probably said skateboard on the bottom of it. And like some kind of like crazy typeface or something. But anyway, so I rode this skateboard a lot. I loved it. And I knew a few like lame ass 11-year-old tricks. Nothing crazy, nothing impressive. And I was with my dad. He was walking because he's always been an exerciser. And I was skateboarding around him as he was walking. And I honestly do not know what fucking possessed me to do this, other than I had seen Bart Simpson do this as his special move in the arcade game. And that is to spin the skateboard around wildly, knocking enemies around. I fucking skated up to my dad, did that, and then like hit his shin at like full speed. And then like I never had seen him. I never seen my dad like just like get furious. Like I'd never seen the murderous fire behind his eyes before. But it was like, I need to get the fuck out of here right the fuck now, because if he catches me, he is going to kill me. So I ran into the house. He's like chasing. Thank God I almost like fractured his shin. Otherwise he would have caught me. I tear ass to the house. I hop the fucking fence in the back, run through the sliding glass door. I am like freaking out. My mom's in the kitchen. She's like, "What the fuck is going on?" She didn't say that. That's me imposing my non-vocabulary on her. And so I run up the stairs, and then I hear my dad like fucking barge in, and she's like, "What is going on?" Like, he doesn't even say anything to her. He is coming. I can hear him. He's on the stairs. I'm at the top of the stairs. I run in my room. I fucking close that door, lock it, and I fucking dive under the bed. And that's where I stayed. This happened at like 3:00. I stayed there under the bed until probably noon the next day. Like, I waited until like I knew he was at work. Like, I remember looking out the front window and being like, "Is his car there? I cannot see it. Better play it safe and go back under the bed." That was wow. And then, you know what? It was never mentioned again. Nothing ever came of it. Nothing ever. My mom didn't say anything. My dad didn't say it. No one was like, "You shouldn't have done that thing." I guess they were just like, well, I mean, he didn't fucking eat for almost 24 hours, so.
We have to try that again and see what happens.
Yeah, after we watch Bebe's Kids all together. So I feel like that was probably the closest I've ever been to like doing some real Bebe's Kids shenanigans. That, and here's another story that I think is a little more forgivable because I was like 7 years old and The Land Before Time had just come out. And I was super, super psyched about that movie. Dude, I used to like come home from school. I had it on VHS, and that was my jam. I would throw Land Before Time in and just watch it every day after school. And I remember one night my dad was watching the news, and for some reason he wasn't sitting in his chair like he normally was. He was sitting on the floor. And I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be Sarah, and I am going to ram him. So what I did was I backed up all the way to the back of the wall, and he had no idea I was there. And I was like, this is perfect. I'm going to nail him. So I go all the way to the back of the wall. I remember putting my right foot on the wall, flat on the wall, and then I just charged at him like just head on. Like, he is just sitting there, and I'm just charging at him. And I remember hitting him right in the back with my head.
Like the top of your head?
Yeah, the top of my head. Like the kind of shit that like kills football players.
I was to say, yeah.
To this day, he's still like, when his back hurts, he brings that up. If only he'd have known the stupid fucking shit that was going on in my head when I was doing it. He probably thought I was like doing something cool, like I'm gonna sack him. No, I was pretending to be
I'm gonna get that long neck.
Yeah, I was pretending to be a baby girl Triceratops. If only he knew.
That's what would have made him most angry about the situation.
So I think the takeaway to all these is that all I wanted to be as a kid was a cartoon character.
Well, see, now we're gonna have to do Cool World after we do this.
Is Cool World a game?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
wow.
a really bad Super Nintendo game.
I mean, I never saw all of Cool World, but I remember seeing previews for it like when I was a kid, and I remember thinking, "Oh, that's like a dirty Roger Rabbit."
Well, yeah. So yeah, I'd rather do Roger Rabbit and Cool World.
Is there I know there's a Roger Rabbit for NES game.
I don't think there's an SNES.
Man, I played the NES game. We should do that because wow. Man, if you think Bebe's Kids is bad, Roger Rabbit on the NES is super bad.
Good, I'm down.
I got to say, all right, back to Bebe's Kids. If this is the worst game that the Super Nintendo has to offer, I feel like we're doing okay. I feel like the Super Nintendo is doing just fine. This is a very bad game.
I'm looking at you surprised. Because like, really? Really?
This is a very, very bad game, but I've played so many worse NES games.
Okay, yeah. But I just say like, I guess compared to the NES, there's probably some more like just broken games in the NES.
Yeah.
But, like this is like Bill Lampier's Combat Basketball is better.
Oh,
than
it's
this
so much
game.
better than this game. Yeah.
This is like this until I play all of them and I can say it. But up until the day of this recording, 11/28/2015, this is the worst Super Nintendo game I have ever played.
Worse than Sparkster?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Man, I know you got a burning
I
hatred
hate
of
Sparkster, but it's just like it was the frustrating levels and the broken animation of Sparkster that just made it awful to me. That it was in the top 100, just made it even more stupid.
Right.
But like Bebe's Kids is just like there's just as much like stupid broken, and it's just man, I don't understand. Like this had to be like the studio that made it. It had to be their first game.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, man. I kind of interrupted myself in the middle of the day, read some Wikipedia, because this was developed by Radical Entertainment and published by Motown Games. So I'm going to bring back a little segment that we haven't done in a long time at the end of this episode. Okay, so Tyler, what are Bebe's Kids? What are they?
Of the abused kids of a distant mother.
Okay. You've seen the movie. I have not seen the movie. So what happens in the movie?
Okay, the movie is like watching the movie now through my 31-year-old eyes.
Right.
The movie is basically this lonely guy goes to a funeral of his friend who he doesn't really like. All the other guys there just sort of are glad this guy is dead. They all see this hot girl at the funeral, and they all talk about how badly they want to fuck her. So after the funeral is over...
Are you sure this isn't Death Note?
He starts just chasing the woman and spitting his game at her, and she's not really having any of it. And she ends up giving him a ride home.
Okay.
They don't know each other's names. They don't know anything about each other. He just knows he wants to fuck this lady.
Right.
He talks to her.
A funeral fuck.
Yeah,
I get it.
A good old-fashioned funeral fuck.
We all know how that goes. Yeah.
And finds out, like, she has a kid. Like, he still doesn't know her name. Meets her son. Is like, oh, I know how I'm gonna get with this girl. I'm gonna get with her son.
Okay.
So basically, the whole movie is him pretending to be a stepfather figure in order to fuck this woman.
Yeah.
That's
it.
the movie.
Okay.
That's the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Because then.
That doesn't sound like a movie that could be made today.
No, there's a lot about it that could not be made today. And then, like, she's just like, then you want to get on my son better? Take us to Fun World tomorrow, which is the equivalent to Disney World. And
Allegedly.
He's like, that's a lot of money. And she's like, all right, whatever. Then if you don't want to get to know us, if you don't want to get with this, then don't take us. He's like, all right, fine, I'll do it.
Okay, so she knows what's up.
Then before that, then she's like, hey, this is my name. Like, they still don't know anything about each other. Now they're going to Disney World tomorrow. She's like, no, my kid's going to be around you. Guy, I don't know that we're going to fuck me at a funeral. That's
Right.
fine. So when he shows
it does
up.
sound like she is kind of prostituting herself a little bit. Like right in front of her children, her child.
I'm trying to get you to Six Flags. Shut the fuck up.
You want me to suck your dick or not?
So whenever he shows back up, she has 3 more kids with her in addition to her son.
Okay.
And he's like, who are these kids? Oh, these are Bebe's kids.
These are Bebe's kids. Okay.
Bebe is her neighbor who is just having a really hard time.
Okay.
So basically it turns out like Bebe is like a abused distant mother, and the woman is just trying to be as involved with these kids as she can just to give them something.
Yeah.
That's why they're like troubled and irresponsible because, they have no parental figures, and
That's why they do that.
yeah, they're all like,
Right.
oh. So then like he's nice to them, he's nice to her son, and everything works out the way it should.
You know what? I hope these pick up on the mics. I don't know. Otherwise, it's just gonna be hilarious. Like, I don't know what these guys. They're all like. I don't know. What are they like?
Tell us. Baby's kids are all their mimes. They're very destructive mimes.
They're always reflecting. Yeah, we get it.
But see, okay. I'm not familiar with the stand-up comedian.
I am. I'm not extremely familiar with them, but it's Robin Harris. Mm-hmm. I remember being a kid. I used to watch a lot of stand-up, a lot.
I love stand-up. I guess because this guy died in 1990 is why I'm not familiar with him. That was back in you could only listen to Jeff Foxworthy. Yeah. Like, my parents would let me do that, and that's until Sinbad came along, and then
I shouldn't say I got to watch stand-up comedy. When I would sneak out of bed in the middle of the night to watch HBO, it was usually for softcore pornography, but about 30% of the time it's for whatever stand-up was on.
The stand-up will come on before the pornography or between the pornographies.
Exactly. Oh, man. In between the pornographies was the best.
Jerk it, laugh, jerk it again.
No, not even because I was like a little kid. Or it's just like...
Get hard and confused.
Yeah, exactly.
Get hard and confused.
It's just like, I don't know what's going on, but man, I like it.
God, I remember like... before I knew to jerk off and find relief, I remember my next door neighbor, her
Bebe.
Ryan, her son was Ryan's age, and Ryan and her son would play together. But I thought she was incredibly hot, so I'd always make up reasons to like go over there and get Ryan, or have to give Ryan something, or tell him something, or whatever to see her because she's super fucking hot. And I remember we had moved. And I was laying in bed at our new house one day. I was like, man, I wonder, I haven't seen her in forever. Boner, instantly. And I was just like, what is going on? I could just think about this and this happens. And then so I learned to associate that. And I would just be like, I'm in bed, no one's alone. All right, make this happen. There it is again. Didn't know what to do with it. It's just there.
Well, one day you will. And then the sad thing
I'll let you know.
Yeah, please text me.
You're going to text at 3 in the morning. I know what to do.
I'll wake Nikki up. Hey, Tyler just told me.
I got to go.
All right. So, okay. So, yeah, he's a stand-up comedian. And he has this whole routine about Bebe's kids. That's the only thing that I remember about him. And honestly, like, I have a hard time remembering the guy's name, but I do remember the Bebe's kids routine. And it sounds exactly like the movie, pretty much, from your description. Yeah. It sounds like they just took his bit, which is not a very long. I mean, it's not very long, and they just stretched it out to fit a movie,
and then made a video game out of it. Like 2 years after he died. So like he had no input in this or helped like make it any good.
Right.
So it's just some studio execs that probably were up late watching HBO, like that could be a movie.
Okay, so here's actually what I think happened. And this is legit. I haven't lined up my timeline, so I don't know if this even makes sense. But just based on playing the game, playing Bebe's Kids for the Super Nintendo, what I was thinking while I was playing it was that, okay, some developer was like, man, you know what was really good? The Simpsons arcade game. That was really good. Hey, did that come out on like any console or anything? No, it didn't. Let's do Bebe's Kids. Because it feels like they tried to capture the Simpsons arcade game in this. It honestly,
let's make a Black Simpsons and we'll do Bebe's Kids.
And Krusty Land, is that the name of the theme park? This whole game is reminiscent of that stage in the Simpsons arcade game, I think.
You're right. Yeah.
And even like the colors used, like I didn't see the movie, so I don't know what kind of color palette they use in the movie, but like even the palette is very similar to, I think, the Simpsons arcade game. It's just there are problems.
Oh, so many.
There are problems.
So many problems.
I would love for you to address the problems, and then I will defend Bebe's Kids.
Okay. It starts off, I assume it's on another planet, and the gravity is very intense.
Uh-huh.
Because you are you're so slow. You're like Kirby 64 level.
You are slow.
Just slow, just slogging through it.
Well, look, Tyler, the Simpsons arcade game is great, but it's over too fast. It's over too. We need a fun game that lasts a really long time. So let's just scale it back. You know how some people listen to us on double speed? Well, if they were getting the true
Real
experience,
fans listen at 75% speed.
if they were getting the Bebe's Kids experience.
I think those 2 hour episodes are too short. Let's slow them down.
What?
Make that Tropical Capricorn last a good 5 minutes.
Jorge and Meg talk about fast food with Tyler and Dave. I got 2.5 hours. I got 5.
I heard them talk about chicken strips for a really long time.
All right. The game is slow. You're right. It is slow. It's very slow.
And because you get in, of course, you're on a boardwalk type area. And immediately there are 2 characters from the game. Is a man in a suit, which they are the very oppressive people who are the security in the theme park.
Okay.
Which I guess it's I don't know. I can see a lot of racial allegories to this movie. One just being that these security officers are everywhere. They have cameras and trash cans and in trees, and they're just watching the kids, waiting for them to fuck up because they want to kick them out. They're just waiting for it. And they tell them that, we want you to do this. We want to get you out of here. You're gone. You're gonna do this. We know it. That's what these guys are. And then a random clown from the theme park. Those are the 2 enemies you fight in the first level, and the 3rd level, and the 4th level, and the 5th level. Anytime you're in the boardwalk area, you fight these 2 enemies.
And dogs. They throw in dogs.
They do throw in dogs. They do throw in these black, evil-looking dogs.
They throw in the dogs from Shinobi, I think.
I mean, if you ever wanted a good game where you uppercut dogs, it's Bebe's Kids. Well, okay, when you fight these people, because here's the thing, you can just walk to the end of the stage.
Right.
They're not going to fuck with you. You can just
I mean, they kind of will.
Yeah, you can weave between them easily.
But it is easy.
You get to choose who you want to play. Either the girl or the boy. You can't be the baby.
Right. Can't be Pee-wee.
You can't be
Come
Pee-wee.
on. Let's use their names. Let's stretch your Bebe's Kids trivia, Tyler.
You can't be Pee-wee, but you can either be LaShawn or Cahill.
Ah, you got it.
Yeah.
Man, you did watch this movie.
I
Haven't watched Star Wars.
I think
watched 2/3 of Bebe's Kids.
There's no exactly egg fuck exactly. But you can't be Leon. Leon, who's the good kid, can't be Leon.
See, I was unaware of Leon.
It's not Bebe's Kids and Leon.
Leon.
It's just Bebe's Kids. So I mean, you could go because they don't come after you. If you get close to them, they'll grab you. But
and they choke you out. Yeah, it's very.
The guy in the suit will just grab you and just shake you a little bit until you wiggle out. But you can just make it to the end of the stage where you're supposed to go into
the exit,
the house at the end, but you can't until you kill at least 2 of them. Probably.
Is that how many you have to kill?
I think I killed more than that, but there's a pretty short time limit on the stage.
Okay, that is a problem. I think that just prevails throughout the entire game is the time limit. I do honestly think
it's what made me quit.
Yeah.
I didn't finish this game. It made me quit.
It made me quit too. I'm curious. Where did you quit?
The haunted
house. That is also where I quit.
That is that is some of the worst bullshit I've encountered in a video game. Not just SNES, but in a video game.
The time. I feel like if they remove the time limit, that this game automatically gets twice better.
That 0.1 becomes 0.2.
Just like that. Just like that. All of a sudden,
out of what? 90 becomes
all of a sudden, Baby's Kid just barely ekes out over Super Turrican 2.
But you go up. I was like, okay, this is a beat 'em up. All right. I see I can punch. I can kick. All right, I'm gonna punch this guy in the suit. And you punch him in the nuts. It's all right, he's fine. Punch him in the nuts.
You're a kid, Tyler.
Okay.
You're a kid.
Yeah.
You're a kid.
And apparently it's advantageous to be Cahill over to Sean.
Really?
LaShawn. Because she is taller, so her hitbox is bigger. So you need to be the other one because you're harder to hit.
That makes sense, I guess.
So there's only the disadvantage. There's no advantage between being either one. And why, if you can choose either one, it's the same thing I encountered when we played Final Fight. Like, why not make it 2 players? Why, if you have the choice, like, let's just throw that second player option.
Why not make your brother miserable?
Spread out the suffering. Just spread that suffering like peanut butter. It's fine. But, like, because I punched these guys, like, I was like, okay, something's fucked up. I must have, did I get a bad copy of this game? What's going on? So I keep doing it, like, for a really long time before, like, okay, their hair and glasses fell off. Okay, now I'm punching this bald guy in a suit. Okay, I'm making progress. And eventually, like, yeah, he does go away after a really long time. I had to look it up, but it takes 35 punches to take down one of those guys. I was like, okay, this can't be right. What's going on with this? So I had to pull up a fact. There's one fact on Game Facts.
Yes, there is. Very loosely written.
And I need to read part of it.
Can you, when we get to the haunted house section, I really, really want you to read the haunted house section.
Okay.
Please.
You want me to save this all for the haunted house section or go ahead and read?
No.
Okay.
Read your thing for sure. And then when we start talking about the haunted house, I really want you to read this guy's thing.
Okay, so this is the only one available, Bebe's Kids.
Who's it by?
Future Trunks. Fuck yeah, Future Carrot Key Trunks.
Is that a Dragon Ball Z reference?
That is the Dragon Ball Z figure that Cuckmaster Shake brought back from Japan that is over here.
Okay. Is he like, is he you in the Dragon Ball Z parallel?
No, who was I in the Dragon Ball Z parallel? Oh, fuck, I don't remember. Oh, I'll think about it. I'll remember eventually. But, all right. Frequently asked questions by Future Trunks. If you want to email him, future-trunks@mail.com.
Did we ask him permission to...
We're not... He said we couldn't read it. We just can't publish it anywhere.
Good.
Although it doesn't say that anywhere. Note, this is not a complete walkthrough. Although I provided enough information to complete the game, it is not intended to be a step-by-step walkthrough. Rather, a reference if you need any help with the game. And you will, in parentheses. Is it a nightmare? No, it's Bebe's Kids. Usually addresses one of the worst games of all time. I am by no means in disagreement with people who think this, but people have waited long enough for a fact in this game, and I've spent too many hours trying to beat this, and now I have. It's not a walkthrough, but I will do all that I can to help you through this game, and appreciate it at least a little bit, only about the 7 or 8 people who made this game. Well, on with the fact. If you're having general trouble with this game, I suggest you read the I can't beat the first level, what is wrong? There are 2 characters you can choose from, a boy and a girl. It doesn't matter. I suggest you use the guy because he's smaller and therefore harder to hit. I rushed through this fact, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me.
This is like when I read this fact, I'm so glad that you read this too. As I was reading it, I was like, this guy has the TADPOG spirit. He is like, I know this is rushed, it doesn't make sense, but just fucking bear with me.
It's all you got. So. Okay, facts. What is Bebe's Kids? Bebe's Kids is a game for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Next question.
Why would you make a fact for this game? Simple. No one else has. What a stupid reason to make a fact. Tell me more about the game.
There's not much I enjoy more than game facts humor. You always get those gems where it's like, you know what? Where should I stretch my creative juices? I'm feeling froggy today. I don't know. Should I submit an article to Cracked or I know. Game facts.
So are we gonna make that subreddit now? Yeah. We'll make it fact funnies, our fact funnies, and we just post funny.
Actually, I think that we should start trolling like our Marmaduke or something and just start posting these. There's got to be a Marmaduke subreddit.
This game is very rare, and not much is known about it. I do know that it is made by Motown Games. I believe this is their only production, go figure, and published by Mandingo. Don't ask me who they are either. In December 1993, that's about it. It's a quote-unquote movie brawler, sigh, and a very poor one at that.
Tips Fedora.
Don't be upset if you can't beat the first level, let alone the haunted house. ... That's what the fact is for. Smiley face.
Thank you.
I need help with something that doesn't seem to be in the fact. Help! Answer. that wasn't a question, but I'll ask it in the Bebe's message board at GameFAQs.com. And if someone will address it for you, I'll include it in my FAQ in the next release. I can't seem to hit some of the bosses and or enemies. Can you help? This game has the worst collision detection that I have ever seen. That means the enemies will have a really hard time hitting you as well, so it'll balance out. Seriously, though, the enemy's weak points are very touchy. Just keep pummeling away until you hit it. You know, you're punching them right on and just not hitting. I just keep hitting more. Yeah, then he goes through very frustrated and trying to talk about the games, because after I read this, I was like, oh, there are more moves. Okay, like the uppercut.
Right.
Not intuitive, like, at all.
No.
All right, so in order to use the uppercut, hold L and R and press the Y button, and you do an uppercut.
See, I don't think there's so much myth wrapped around Bebe's kids. I don't think you have to hold L and R, because I was able to do it with L or R.
Oh, okay.
Not that changes your experience drastically. It's still cumbersome as fuck.
I wish I had that calorie back. So, yeah, you do that, and, okay,
way more powerful.
What took 35 hits?
Way more powerful.
Then takes 3 hits.
Yeah.
Why is there that big of a discrepancy? Why?
Uh-huh.
Why? I don't know what the creator. Okay.
The real question
that this is like
Tyler's
3 times
swinging his
better
arm
than
up, by the way.
Yeah, this motion
Right.
3 times better than this. Yeah, this is not gonna work.
Which is just his regular fisting motion. So here's what I don't understand. Once again, here's a simple change that we can make to the game to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of regular punch. It's out. It's out of the fucking game.
Yep.
Does not exist. Regular punch is replaced by the uppercut.
Oh, or get rid of uppercut and make regular punch
Stronger?
Yeah.
Yeah. One or the other. You got to go with one or the other, because like someone needs to make a design decision. You can't just be like, I don't know. The guy programming it can't just be like, well, I mean, they fucking told me to do the thing with the thing. Someone has to be like, all right, this doesn't make sense.
Let's see, there's also like a spinning jump kick.
I never did that.
If you jump and in the air hold L and R and then press Y, you unleash a deadly spinning jump kick.
Okay.
You can also throw stuff.
Yeah. I threw a baseball.
Baseballs, basketballs.
I threw a basketball.
Yeah.
It's cumbersome as well.
There are more
to hold down.
basketballs in Bebe's kids than there are in Shaq Fu.
I think you're right.
Yep.
I think it's really funny how you pick items up. You have to like duck down to pick them up. I guess because you can't just hold
really
down.
Awkward.
So it is crazy awkward. It looks like, and when you duck down to pick something up, it looks like in Mario 2 when you're about to do a super jump and you like got to crouch down for like 3 seconds. That's what. Anytime I try to pick something up and I can't,
You don't squat to eat a cheeseburger or drink a Coke?
Sometimes I do. It depends on the situation. But it reminded me when you were talking about the collision detection being awful. Like, I wish I could take like a GIF of some of my gameplay, because it would just be me like squatting around an ice cream cone, just desperately trying to pick it up.
So the first level is just you have to kill 2 of those guys and then go in the House of Glass.
House of Glass.
Okay, and the House of Glass level, also super fucked up.
Yeah.
Also, like, yeah, it's stupid programming, because you get a cutscene of they're looking for Pee-wee. So then whenever you're in the glass house level, Pee-wee's on these large shelves of glass, knocking the glass over. And
there's like vases and shit like that.
The protagonist,
Bowls.
Robin, in the movie is trying to grab these vases and bowls and things like that so they don't crash on the ground. So you have no, like, wait, okay, you walk to the other end of the stage where, okay, there's the exit. Okay, can't go through it. All right. Do I have to grab the glass? Am I helping him? Okay, no, it's just falling right by me and hitting the floor.
And there's a little counter.
Yeah, there's a counter at the top. So what you have to
vases that have numbers after them.
Yeah, you have to jump up and destroy the glass before it hits the floor and breaks.
Right.
So you have to make sure that Robin doesn't grab and save the glass,
right.
And you have to make sure like it doesn't get broken by accident, because Bebe's kids fuck shit up. So you have to make sure you break that glass.
What you're doing is you're stealing Pee-wee's kills. That's all you're doing in this fucking level is he's breaking it anyway, but you're gonna fucking break it before gravity does.
Yep. So you do that and break 10 pieces of glassware. Then you go to the next level, and it's the first level again. Only what? Now there are dogs.
Now there are dogs,
and the vendors throw stuff at
fireworks at you. Is any of this in the movie?
Welcome to Funland.
Is the House of Glass?
It is. Okay. It is in the movie.
Are the dogs in the movie?
I don't remember the dogs being in the movie.
Are the vendors throwing fireworks at the kids? Okay.
No.
All right.
The security guys are trying to get you. That's true.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Then after you go through
you do that
same thing again, like have to take out some of the guys, the men in suits and the clown people, and then you go through
haunted house. It's time for the haunted house.
Cahill is just like, we gotta hide from those guys in the haunted house. Let's go.
Okay, please read for me what Super Trunks, or is that what it is? Future Trunks, sorry, not Super Trunks, has to say about haunted house. This is my favorite thing probably I've read all week.
The haunted house. Ha 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 ha. These mummies and such are trying to scare our heroes. Of course, they won't slow us down, but this maze will. The haunted house is driving me nuts. Help! Ah, the dreaded haunted house, stay away!
You sound like a Z.
Yeah. The haunted house, oh no, it's gonna get me! Oh no! Anyway, if you're reading this, you can join the rest of us in the group who cannot beat the haunted house.
That's what I love about this fact.
But don't fret. We, the people of the Bebe Kids message board on GameFAQs, have found out the solution. While I have not mapped out the maze...
That is the other thing. We're just like, then give the fuck up, man.
His tip did not help me at all.
Give the fuck up. Because I got to that point, too, and I was like, I don't know.
So here's some tips. First of all, avoid the enemies. You are on limited time, and you must use it wisely.
Thank you. I hadn't thought of that one. Avoid the enemies. Okay.
You can go through the bookcases like doors. Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's even more nuanced than that because it depends on which side of the bookcase you enter.
Right.
So, as you get closer to the exit, there is a blue thermometer in the corner that gets redder and redder the closer you are. When it's blue, you're further away from the exit.
And see, that I think is cool. I do honestly think that is a cool aspect of the haunted house.
Yeah.
That's a game of hot and cold. And I kind of do think that this would be fun. I kind of think the haunted house would be fun if there was no time limit.
And it's a short fucking time limit. Like,
it's super, super, super short.
Oh, man.
Like, you have to know. I feel like you have to know where you're going in order to make it comfortably in that time limit.
So back out of the room. Let's see. When you find a room with two doors and a carpet in the middle, you're close. Back out of the room you came in and start guessing doors and backtracking if the thermometer gets bluer. Eventually, you'll find the exit.
It's fucking worthless.
Future
Trunks
never did it.
That is fucking worthless.
I tried so many. And I was like, look at the thermometer. Is that a shade more red?
I know, and it went white at some point.
Yeah.
Did you get
that?
Now
it's blue. Okay, I'm going back. Now it's white. Okay, now it's like a very light pink, and now it's a slightly darker shade of pink. Okay, now it's white again. Okay, now it's blue. Okay, because you're just trying to avoid like
the paintings are blowing smoke rings at you.
Yeah, and you can't hurt them. You can hurt them. You can hurt the mummies and the books and the bats.
And then there's the ghost that flies and does a somersault.
It's
all the things that we are saying right now. If like someone hasn't played Bebe's Kids, I guarantee you the listeners are like, "Is this an April Fool's?" Like, what is going on? Because it does sound like some crazy ass bullshit. Man,
it is so bad. It is like, I cannot believe that. Like, why is this a good? Okay, this brawler. Okay, now we're gonna do a very like tightly timed memory maze where like the trick is don't fight anything in this fighting game.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't. I did it so many times. Could not beat it. Gave up.
This is also where I gave up. I did find a tool-assisted speed run of Bebe's Kids because I wanted to see the haunted house finished. And of course it happens. I see it, and I'm like, all right, I don't believe it. I see it, but I don't believe it. There was a moment where I was like, I was looking for a pad to write down the directions to go in the haunted house. And then I was like, oh, right, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Oops, forgot. Don't care. This game sucks.
Because I got to the point where the thermometer was just like crimson. But like every door after that would just make it go white.
I know. Same thing happened to me
Then
too.
I'm out of time.
Yeah.
Like I'm going in the same door, the same pattern, like trying every single thing, and I just can't do it, run out of time. It's just fucking crazy.
Here's another thing they could have changed to make this game better. because when you run out of time, you die. You lose a life. And when you lose a life, you go back to the very beginning of the game. Not that level. You go to the very beginning of the game. You have to start over from level 1. From the first level of the game.
It's some fucking NES style make the game as long as we can bullshit.
Exactly, because this game is not very long. This is a short game.
The tool assisted speed run was 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and then the long play video I watched was 34 minutes. So yeah, it's not long. It's just fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
Everything is designed to stretch the game out. It really is. Let's
not make a fun game. Let's just make a game.
Well, I also think it's like, in this Game Facts, he mentions that they have a small team developed it. Did you see the credits at the end of the game?
No.
It is like 7 names. And it makes me think it's one of those things where I feel bad for the people who made the game, because it's like, all right, I get it. You can't like make a really robust game with 7 people, I guess, unless you're spending years on it. So I get it that it's going to be a short game, but man, you just squeeze all the fun out of it.
It had to have been like a high school group project where like one guy is really doing most of the work and the other people
Everyone
are
else
like,
yeah,
no,
sure.
it's fine. Just put our name on it. It's fine. We don't care.
What's your name? Bebe. I love to imagine a situation where Bebe's Kids is a game that's completely independent of the movie, where it was just someone named Bebe and they had an idea of like, well, there's just some rambunctious children and they're in an amusement park and they're fighting people. What do you mean there's a movie about this?
Who would make a movie? Okay, well, I mean, you're Leon. No, we're cutting Leon. No. Because then, if you make it to the haunted house, then you go to a pirate ship level.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched the pirate ship level, which looked easy, but then again, I was watching someone else do it.
The boss looked fucking ridiculous, though. Like, I don't...
It was a robot pirate?
Yeah.
Animatronic pirate.
Because if you get close to him, he really just, like, way quicker than you can hit, just starts, like, stabbing you with his hook hand, and you hit him until his robot skin falls off, and you see that he's a robot, then he disappears.
Right.
Then there are pit stages, I guess.
That looked miserable.
And then the final boss is a big robot.
Yep. That's it.
They missed the whole... Because, man, the movie does some weird, like, Dumbo-style shit in it. Because at one point, like, Robin and then the girl that the mom he's trying to seduce, like, they go in the tunnel of love, and they go through this weird, like, musical montage where it's just, like, they're white sprites drawn on a black background, and it keeps changing, like they're in school, and she's like, he's in like a dunce hat, and she's disciplining him, and then they're somewhere else, and then like the antagonists on the other side, like, so the security cards are the antagonists for the kids, and Robin's horrible ex-wife and horrible best friend who happen to be at the theme park and are trying to ruin their date are the antagonists for the adults.
Okay.
So you see them like trying to get them and fuck them up and have them where they don't get together. And yeah.
Well, you know what I always hear? I've heard this time and time again, that Bebe's Kids is a Dumbo of the 90s. I've heard that. I think it's on the box for the movie.
Dumbo of the 90s. And there's another part.
You'll believe an elephant can fly.
The kids have to go to like robot court where all the robots are judging them for breaking the rules.
So the robots are a part of the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that wasn't just something that was
like
conjured up.
The
for
final
video.
boss robot is like the judge.
Okay.
And then the lawyer
from Roger Rabbit.
Well, see the prosecutor robot is a Richard Nixon robot with Richard Nixon on top, robot legs on bottom. And he's trying to prove the kids are rule breakers and they have to be punished.
The next Smash Brothers character. Yeah.
Half robot Nixon enters the fray.
Yeah, like right after Cloud. Like they're releasing Cloud and they're releasing Robot Nixon. I'm getting on Twitter as soon as we're done.
All the variations of Nixon. Just head in a jar Nixon for Futurama. Actual Nixon, just a casket just sits there.
Then they do the whole cast of Laugh-In. I don't know. It's weird. They really got off the rails. Once they let Cloud in the game, they were just
All
really
bets are off. Just write us a check. We'll put it in there.
I can't imagine like they do the Cloud trailer and then like there's a cut to riots, just buildings on fire, demons going out of the earth. All right, we warned you this would happen, Nintendo.
Oh man. Because and then they're able to get free because Leon just starts doing a freedom rap and convinces all the robots to let them go with his freedom rap.
Leon comes out of his shell.
Comes out of his shell, starts rapping, and they're all impressed. Yeah, yeah.
So you saying the judge? You talking about the judge made me think of
Who looks like the Terminator?
Okay, that feels like lazy writing, but we'll forgive it because it's Bebe's Kids. Here's what I want. I would love to watch like this fully animated, beautiful, like Miyazaki movie or something like that.
Miyazaki does Bebe's.
No. Yeah, I mean, that's not where I was going, but yeah, that would be pretty good. So I would love to watch this like beautiful animated film, this art, and then like at the very end, the judge from Roger Rabbit shows up. Just completely, just unexpected, just out of the blue, and just starts annihilating everything.
Just starts grabbing. He brings it like real life. Like,
yeah.
He just walks into the Toon World with a vat of the stuff.
Yeah.
And starts grabbing him. And
Absolutely. It just starts going crazy on everybody.
He walks into Princess Mononoke, grabs the deer god, just shoves his face.
It's the secret sequel to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. No one expects it.
Walks into Toy Story, just starts grabbing Woody and Buzz and just...
What would be great is if out of the 1,000 reels that they release of the super secret sequel to Roger Rabbit, only one of them has that ending. Everyone else just has a normal ending. So there's just one copy of this movie floating around where just one theater was like, what the fuck just happened? And then, of course, the other reel is Miyazaki's Bebe's Kids.
See, that's the whole Roger Rabbit 2, the Cartoonicast. It's just a 40-volume series of the judge just doing an ethnic cleansing of all other cartoons. I did see someone had done a poster for like a Miyazaki Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was really, really good. Oh, okay. Well, after you beat the Terminator robot at the end, that's the game. That's Bebe's Kids. It is truly, truly just garbage.
It's a bad game.
The worst garbage.
It's a bad game. I don't think it's the worst garbage.
In all video games, no. For the Super Nintendo, to this point, for me, yes. I can't think of...
Okay.
I think Chester Cheetah was like... It had some problems that are similar to this.
Yeah.
It's a very similar game.
But... there weren't the time limit issues, and at least in the Chester Cheetah game,
motorcycle parts.
Right? I mean, who doesn't want to do that?
And then the kids were also trying to like construct a motorcycle while you're going through.
Yeah, who doesn't want to be a feline hobo? I mean, I certainly do. Okay, so this is definitely the worst Super Nintendo game that I played. Mm-hmm. It is. It's worse than Bill Lambier by far.
Yeah.
Like, it is actually kind of insulting that I think the two are used in the same sentence.
Yeah, because there's
Bill Lambier's
it's bad, but it's like it's not like I feel like it's just really bad in concept as opposed to just everything. Everything about Bebe's Kids is bad. And the music,
except for Leon.
Leon's
very good.
Oh, too bad he was cut from the game. He was the best part. And the music is like this, almost the same entirely the way through, just like a repetitive like 2 to 3 seconds just looped.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful.
And at least in Chester Cheetah, I knew what to do. Like, there really wasn't any explanation needed. The big problem with Bebe's Kids is I never knew what I needed to do.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have the internet, if I played this game when it came out, there is no way in hell I would ever have gotten past the first stage. Just wouldn't have fucking happened.
Yeah.
Would not have happened because I would not be able to go to YouTube and be like, fucking Bebe's Kids, how do I beat this? And watch an 11-minute video of a tool-assisted speedrun.
Well, I don't imagine Okay, one for the parents, they're gonna let their kids like, oh, it's a cartoon movie, it's fine. Let them watch Bebe's Kids and not be like, no, turning it off like 5 minutes in, because it's just like, yeah, there's no. I mean, I only got away with seeing most of it as a kid, just like my parents not being home or something, and it being on like at a weird time.
What's it rated? Do you know?
That's a good question.
Like, I mean, it's not a kids movie.
No, I don't want to say it's rated R, but
Probably like PG-13.
PG-13 to maybe R back then, maybe. But yeah, at least PG-13.
What's IMDb say?
I don't see it. It's PG-13. Okay, there it is. Yep, PG-13. 72 minutes. Animation, comedy, fantasy. July 31st, 1992.
I was 11.
Happy 8th birthday, Meg.
Nicole hadn't been born.
Nope, not for another 5 years. Did you know Nicole was born in 1997? Yeah, Josh is terrible. Toad Loke's in this movie. I remember Ian should probably get on board. Ian loves all things Toad Loke. And he is the voice of Pee-wee.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Phase on Love is in it. I've watched Phase on Love on, I forget that sitcom that I used to watch him on a lot years ago. I'm gonna have to click on his IMDb.
Yeah, please, Tyler and Dave read through IMDb.
Tyler and Dave look through, critique bit by bit, Face on Love's IMDb. Let's see. It wasn't Brotherly Love. Wasn't The Wire the musical? I know that was a thing. Was not Big Mama's House? No, Big Mama's. I guess that's something different.
Just Big Mamas?
He was in My Name is Earl. That's not what I'm thinking.
Or do you think that's
though.
IMDb shorthand? Where it's like, he was in those Big Mamas movies. Big Mamas.
The first DVD teller ever owned Big Mama's House.
Are you serious?
Yeah. My aunt bought it for me for my birthday.
Oh,
the first one I ever owned. She just thought it looked like I would like it.
Oh, boy.
It's the only one I've seen in the series.
Man, she got you.
Because like I do like Martin Lawrence's sitcom. I do like it. So I'd probably like this. The Parenthood. That's what I remember him from. 1995 through 1998.
Tyler,
Yes.
do you have any achievements for this game?
No. I'm trying to think what would be a good achievement. Fist puncher. And that's where you do like you punch, you don't use your uppercut, you just use your single punch to clear the whole screen of enemies.
Impossible achievement.
Or he cleared 2 of them.
Oh, I didn't know
Beat one clown man and one man in black.
I didn't realize we were doing goofy achievements. I've got 2 achievements. The first one, you'll appreciate this, having seen the movie. I've watched the trailer, so I assume that this is in the movie. The first achievement I've got is called We Don't Die, We Multiply. Mm-hmm. In order to unlock We Don't Die, We Multiply, you get an extra life in the game, of which I have seen 1 in the haunted house.
Yep.
I do not know if they exist anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it like is such a lazy, it's not like they even like developed a symbol for a 1-up or used an icon. It just says 1-up. Like it's just typed out in like Times New Roman.
I wonder what that is.
It's just sitting there on a ledge.
What could a lump be?
It doesn't even look like LaShawn's face or anything. It's just like, I don't know. What should we put? Hey, boss, video games usually have extra lives in it. Oh, shit. 1 up. There we go.
Where should I put it? An inaccessible door in the haunted house. You don't have time to get it. So you'll get that 1-up, die from the time limit, and have to go back over. No, make it respawn so people will start doing that over and over and over.
Oh, yeah. It'll make the game last forever. The second achievement I've got is called Pee-wee's Playhouse. And in order to unlock Pee-wee's Playhouse, you need to let Pee-wee destroy all of the glass objects in the glass house. You can't break any of them. So, I mean, you lose the game, but Pee-wee has a good time.
Okay, so because I Googled Bebe's Kids because I was looking at information about it. It's in Urban Dictionary. So let me tell you the Urban Dictionary.
It's in Urban Dictionary?
Uh-huh. So this is the Urban Dictionary definition for Bebe's Kids. The ridiculously numerous offspring of an irresponsible mother. See clown shoes, who doesn't watch her children properly, allows the kids to do whatever they please, and sits around watching TV all day long, talking on the phone with her friends, and then deny your allegations of bad parenting and tell you that you have no right telling her to raise her kids. It should be noted that Bebe's Kids would not exist if she kept her skirt downward more often. Illustration, man, look at that girl running around the restaurant. Oh my God, she broke the plastic toy display. Her mother is even watching her. What a Bebe's Kid.
What a Bebe's Kid. Can we rename the show?
That is okay, so this ancient Urban Dictionary is the Venn diagram from where like old-fashioned Republican sensibilities and people who watch Bebe's Kids cross over. Because
use Urban Dictionary. Let's throw a third circle in there.
Well, to jump in there with okay, we're gonna make a Bebe's Kids reference, and we're gonna slut shame at the same time. Maybe she kept her skirt down where she would have some bad kids. Like, what the fuck? Oh,
Why did you look up Bebe's Kids on Urban Dictionary? What?
No, I Googled it, and this was just one of the top entries.
I love that. I love that Bebe's Kids is such a miss that Google's just shrugging. I don't know. Urban Dictionary?
And yeah, I get clown shoes. I didn't know that was a term.
Oh, yeah. I remember that from Jay and Silent Bob. Strike Back.
Someone or something that is a total joke.
Fucking clown shoes.
God, reading that just pisses me off because in this it's a separate thing from the paragraph. It is also to be noted if she kept her skirt downward. It's like, what? How is this necessary? How are we kicked off everything we want to put on Urban Dictionary except for
we got strategically.
Strategically, that's the only one we got up there. But this fucking makes it.
I don't know, Tyler.
It's still just and downward is in caps. It's
downward.
Keep the skirt downward. Fuck you, whoever made this.
Or just
Kicks. Fuck you, Kicks, who submitted this in May 4th, 2004.
Mother approved, though.
Kicks has written 13 entries into Urban Dictionary.
What are they?
Bebe's Kids. A cute dick. A cute, one word. Like the angle.
Oh, okay.
A woman's polite way of telling you that you're about as well hung as a 2-year-old. Synonyms: 2-inch tickler and 2-pump chump. Geez, you have a cute dick.
Okay, 2-pump chump. Okay, Kix doesn't know.
Different.
Kix does not know what's going on.
Nope. Christian gentleman.
What's that?
A dying breed of decent human beings. Oh, no, okay. No, this gets better. Because there are 3 definitions for Christian gentleman.
Did he submit all of them?
Yeah, he's in this one submission, he has 3 alternative definitions.
God.
1, a dying breed of human beings due to the fact that women hate them.
My God.
See, feminist.
Oh, no.
2, guys who can't get any. 3, me.
My God. This is this person's outlet. This is this person's creative outlet.
The sentence example. Have you thought about dating him? He's such a nice Christian gentleman.
No. Oh no. Okay, well, what are the rest?
SOAR, the abbreviation for Streets of Rage, quite possibly the best fighting game series for the Sega Genesis until Street Fighter II Champion Edition came out.
All right, well, he's not a complete idiot.
Responsible for hours of enjoyment in my life. 2, how a clown shoes spells soar, S-O-A-R. Okay.
But not S-O-R-E?
Allie McMeal, a cardboard box containing half a chicken nugget and a rubber glove so you can gag yourself. That fatty ordered an Allie McMeal.
All right. I don't even know.
Why is this on here? Gold Digger. 1, a great comic, American manga by war veteran Fred Perry about cute girls who are on archaeological expeditions, was around before video game star Lara Croft. Also features arguably the most beautiful cat girl ever, Brittany Cheetah Diggers.
Hold on. Show notes.
Man, this Kicks guy is just like, just when I think is the bottom of that pit, he's like, no, I got another shovel. Now, I'm a Christian gentleman who loves anime, particularly the most, arguably, excuse me, sir, the most beautiful cat girl ever, Brittany Cheetah Diggers.
Hey, Kix, by the way, if you're listening to this, stop. I think it's fair to say I don't want you listening.
About : what the window says before it shows you a pop-up of goatsy.cx or something similarly evil. Okay.
Goatsy, I got it, yeah.
The second page, KFC. Okay, there are 7 definitions for KFC. 1, keep fooling customers. Kentucky Fried Crow. Killing farm chickens. Kippered Fried Chocobo. Kentucky Felched Crap. That's not very Christian, Kicks. Keep furries contained. Spring break. An excuse for people to act like uninhibited, promiscuous clown shoes. Nike Shocks. Overpriced footwear intended for college, semi-pro, and pro athletes, often considered controversial due to sweatshop allegations. Rich people tend to buy these shoes for a stylish and fashionable alternative. See Converse.
I stopped paying attention, honestly.
Stink Palm.
Yeah, from Mallrats.
Something. All right, this is me quoting. It's not a PC word. This is me quoting what Christian gentleman Kicks. Stink Palm. Something retarded comic book fans attempt to do Kevin Smith at comic conventions.
Okay.
Yep. Adorkable. What I'll never be despite being a dork.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Okay, and the last one, skull fucker. Anyone who is currently riding the hobby horse with the cute blue guy from PvP. Anyone who desires to ride the hobby horse with said cute blue guy. Man, that Robbie is such a skull fucker. Okay, so apparently some girl chose cute blue guy from PvP over him, so now he is a skull fucker. PvP is prank versus prank, a hysterical channel on YouTube where the craziest people on YouTube pull pranks on each other.
I hope that things worked out for Kicks in the end. Like, I hope, 11 years later, I hope he's like, you know what? I was reading through my Urban Dictionary submissions the other day. Wow. Cringe.
By far, because you could do a thumbs up or a thumbs down on each of these.
Yeah.
He has a lot of thumbs down, particularly on Skullfucker. Okay, let me see. Good Christian gentleman. How many did that have? That has more thumbs up than thumbs down. People really enjoyed Good Christian Gentlemen.
Well, they're a dying breed, Tyler, of course.
That was a nice rabbit hole to go down.
I want to know where they are now. I want to know where they are now.
Where Kix is?
No. But yeah, I'd love to know where Kix is now. Tyler, I want to know where Radical Entertainment is now.
Defunct.
Defunct?
Yeah.
You think?
Yes.
You're sure?
Positive.
You sound positive.
It's not the 90s anymore.
Did you look this up?
No. I'm just assuming Radical Games either changed its name or no.
They were purchased, entirely owned subsidiary of Activision Blizzard. Okay. After being acquired by Vivendi Games.
Okay, so Heroes of the Storm, Bebe's kids could appear in Heroes of the Storm.
We could get LaShawn as the next character in Heroes of the Storm. I would buy LaShawn on day one. You know why? Bebe's kids don't die, Tyler.
It's true. It's true.
Tyler, Motown Software. Where are they now?
Defunct. Or they're still around, but just never released another game.
Tyler, they are defunct. You are correct. Take a guess. Okay, I got a bonus question. Lightning round. They were founded in 1994. Please give me the date you think they became defunct.
1994.
Close. 2 years off. 1996. They published another game, Tyler.
Okay.
They published another game.
Do we have to play it then?
Let me read just a quick thing about Motown Software. They were responsible for publishing African-American oriented video games during the 1990s. Only 2 games were released from this development company.
So I guess the definition does apply. It's games, it's plural. It's more than one.
Yes. And both received negative criticism. However, Rap Jam Volume 1 received more popularity on Moby Games than Bebe's Kids, which was indicated on everything2.com as being an, quote, extremely crappy game. I love that that's a Wikipedia entry.
It's like, you want to know how bad this game is? This other thing everybody hates, they hate Bebe's Kids more.
Tyler, the Wikipedia replaced Encarta. Just replaced it.
Yeah.
The Motown games, to be fair, Motown Software wouldn't be an Encarta, but also I'd never have read a, quote, like, extremely crappy game.
Man, you had to say Encarta, and then, like, my brain just did the magnifying glass searching files.
I did. I saw your eyes.
So I was like, I should Magna Carta? No, or what is he? Oh,
I remember.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I had like 18 goddamn CDs. Like when I wanted to like hear a 5-second clip of Louis Armstrong, I'd throw one of those bad boys in.
God, I remember like I enjoyed that, going to like my cousin's house and playing with Encarta.
Yep.
Man. that was buried deep.
Tyler, I've got one more question for you. Mm-hmm. Actually, I've got multiple questions for you. But the question right now is, I want to know how much this game is on Amazon. If you were to buy this game right now, used on Amazon, how much do you think that you would pay for it?
GameFAQs said it was pretty rare.
All right. Take that into account.
It's still shitty. I'm going to say $35.
$35. I feel like that's a pretty good guess. Actual retail value of Bebe's Kids for the Super Nintendo used on Amazon at the time of this recording is $19.79. You were over, but guess what? Both of those figures are way too much to pay for Bebe's Kids. So I think I call it a win, honestly. I would say that you just won.
Oh, man. How much is it new?
I did not even look. I don't even know if there is a new copy.
Why is there something out to destroy all copies of Shaq Fu, but not this game?
Not Bebe's Kids. That is a good question.
I guess no one probably expected Bebe's Kids to be remotely fun. At least Shaq Fu is slightly imaginative. Like, let's throw Shaq in an alternate universe.
I guess. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I've had a lot of fun, believe it or not. I really do enjoy it when we can kind of like get back to our roots, the way that Blake Woods likes it, the way the Oathbreaker calls for it. I do enjoy it. I love having guests on the show, but this is always really refreshing for me when it's just you and me. Just old school. I'll do the old school hand motion. I love it. But before we end all the fun, I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
The first of which is, if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would you give it?
It's hard. See, this is because I didn't plan this out ahead of time because I was just trying to think of like what is bad enough, because this is the worst. This is the worst Super Nintendo game I've ever played. It's definitely high on my list of worst games like ever across the board. Yeah.
Okay, what is your most loathed beard? What kind of beard would you never ever want on your face? Bloody possum windshield beard?
I don't know, like a beard, like oh man, okay, here we go.
Okay.
Like if I'm like asleep one night,
okay,
and someone like murders my whole family and fashions them into a beard. And while I'm sleeping, they just attach the beard to my face and then walk away. I just have to wake up to my dead family beard. So
that's the next TADPOG bumper sticker. I just have to wake up to my dead family beard.
So yeah, there you go.
It's pretty bad. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, that sums up how you feel about it. What kind of glasses would you give it?
The glasses I have to wear to view my dead family.
You son of a bitch. All right, that's fair. Like the murderer just puts glasses.
I wanted him to see this really well. I got his records and updated his prescription. Here we go.
Got anything else?
Nope.
I want to definitely mention that you slaved over fucking Thanksgiving to get a bonus episode edited for Patreon donors.
Yep, Tube of Horrors is up. Because I hadn't listened to that. So I made sure I had listened to every bit of it again to make sure it sounded good. I edited out so much pizza chomping. So much like...
Oh, but that's where all the good stuff was, Tyler.
Because it was just like...
You should have done a supercut of just pizza chomps.
Because Miller's like, okay, well, what I see in the room. And then there's just audio of like me taking a bite of pizza and then just like, or then everybody eating pizza. I was just taking like a 5-second break, take a bite and chew it before I'm like, make a perception check.
So December's bonus episode for Patreons is going to be the 10-minute supercut of pizza chomps.
You'll have to see if you know what are new pizza chomps and what are old pizza chomps. I'm going to mix them up. Yeah, so, I mean, I enjoy it. I think Tomb of Horrors Part 2 is better than Part 1. But that's just me. You probably think, he's just saying that so we'll give him $1. Maybe.
Test us.
Give us $1 to find out. Let's see. I mean, if you came here to TADPOG expecting more Fallout 4, we don't have any for you. What's Paul Playing Today does, he's still streaming Fallout 4 constantly. It's good stuff.
I want to give a shout out to a podcast that I just recently started listening to. I know that they're fans of ours, the Experience Grind podcast. They actually, one of their hosts actually reached out to us for information on how to start a podcast, and they've done it, and the content is really good. So if you're all caught up on TADPOG, right, check them out. It's Experience Grind.
We had another 5-star review. Let me pull that up real quick because I'm totally prepared.
Of course. That's how we roll, man.
So thanks to Nostro Dorco.
Yes.
It requested the Stanley Parable.
We've done it.
Fortunate for you, we've already done that.
I think it's in the 100s. It's been a long time. I think it was like 113 or something like that.
So yeah, that'll be on SoundCloud.
Yep, it will be.
That.
And I'll have a link to it in the show notes as well, in case you want to check it out there.
So I feel good about that episode. Nicole was on that episode. Mm-hmm. That's all I got.
That's all I got, man. Let's close it out.
All right.
I feel like this is a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
I love it. Let's do Baby as Kids every week.
Just inhaling that cloud of negativity and just...
I know, it feels good.
Just me and you just hating shit.
Yeah. It feels like this is how it's supposed to be.
This is our 30s.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. So don't miss the next episode. I think we know what we're doing. We're going to do a special adver game. So tune in for that.
Get back to our adver game. I wouldn't say roots, but
yeah,
our super roots. You know, the roots above the other roots, the real
the
roots.
sub-roots, yeah. We need those 5-star reviews, so please go to iTunes, subscribe, write us a 5-star review. If there's a game you want us to play, guess what you want for an episode, include that in your review, and we promise we will get to that eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. We're going to be doing an adver game. You're going to fucking love it, I promise. In the meantime, you can always find us on tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. You can find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/tadpog. There's a lot of cool people there doing a lot of cool shit. Thank you to everybody who comments on our posts. That's really cool, and it's a really nice way to get feedback from you. I feel like that's a very personable community, and that's really cool to, like, I don't know, just know that you're listening. And then I kind of like make connections where it's like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is someone who's left a voicemail before. And oh, I know that's definitely a Patreon donor. So it's really cool to like see that all kind of come together. It feels like a little TADPOG village. I feel like we've got a village on Facebook, Tyler.
Yeah.
You can find us on Twitter. We are at @TADPOG_podcast. It's cumbersome, I realize. Thank you to everybody who is retweeting us, especially our episode announcements. Even you, Kix, even you. I appreciate it. I don't agree with a lot of your views, but I do appreciate the retweets.
The cute blue guy. God, it's Skullfucker.
You can call us if you want at 270-883-2555. Leave us a voicemail. Try to keep it under 3 minutes, and we'll play it on the show. You can also text that number if you want, but I do promise that I will fuck up whatever you type. Lastly, we've already mentioned the Patreon. If you want to get in on the Tomb of Horrors Part 2 episode, minus pizza chomps, you can do that at patreon.com/TADPOG. We're committed to giving you a bonus episode each month. We might release one that we recorded that we can never ever release. It just depends. We recorded. I feel like the internet needs to know. We recorded I think one of our funniest episodes yet, and we can't release it because a friend of ours is uncomfortable with the content.
Yep.
Too hot. This is our second too hot episode.
He was on and then afterward freaked out.
I know.
So, yeah.
And that's really disappointing because I felt like it was a really good episode. So that is our second too hot for somebody episode. So I don't know. Check us out on Patreon.
Wasn't Meg, by the way. It was
not
not either one of our wives.
So we do really appreciate everybody who is currently donating. Thank you so much. I hope that you're enjoying the bonus content.
Since I gave a shout out to Nostra Dorco, I feel like I should also give one. Scrolling down, people I haven't mentioned. So it's Travis Farmer T, so Travis Farmert. More Miller wants us to play Terranigma, which I mentioned I want to do. Phantasy Star 4, I love it. I love Phantasy Star 4.
I read that review and I was like, yep, Tyler's going to love that one.
Parker 858, just no request, just loves the stories.
I like that.
RJRW 92.
I know we've read that one.
Yeah, send us some love. Wants us to play Captain Toad or Splatoon. Captain Toad's on I'll probably get that for Christmas.
I'd love to Splatoon's on my list of games to play.
Or Final Fantasy 3, the legit 3 that I bought one of you 2 years ago.
That was me.
I don't think that was me.
That was me.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me. Thank you.
Okay, then I've got more to go back on, but I just wanted to read those since we're first on the page. I guess also it's empty and it's aching.
Yeah.
Please fill Nicole's box.
Please.
It helps. We don't have to think about intro stories when we try foods. It's great. It's nice. So if you just want to help us just stuff Nicole's box and leave her satisfied.
Remember, we'll eat anything out of that box.
Eat anything out of her box. Please send anything to fill her box to Tadpog Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. What's our theme song, Dave?
It's Moves by Sycamore Drive. A link to that track can be found in the show notes at tadpog.com.
How you want to close this out?
Half robot Richard Nixon.
Okay. So until next time. Tropical Capricorn. No, not a crook. Suck it to me.
Fucking done that before when we first started recording. I can't remember what it was, or I was like, oh, we're gonna get fucking sued. I can't remember what it was, but it was like, shit. I will check all my text messages from 3 years ago and I'll let you know.
Okay, you ready to do this shit?
Yeah. It might have been, honestly, this is funny. Maybe it's not funny. It's funny to me. Honestly, I think we might have been bitching about Billy Mitchell.
Oh, I do remember you said, like, he's the kind of guy who was like...
And then he did fucking sue a very popular cartoon show. That's what it was. Yeah. I was worried that Billy Mitchell was going to come after us.